What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing guys a brand new video. We're gonna be doing a mid fade on my boy, so stay tuned. We started off by picking out the hair and making sure everything is nice and neat. Once we were done picking out the hair, we then switched over to our 3-guard all the way open and started to debulk the sides, going with the grain. Once we were done debulking the sides, we went back to our pick and decided to pick out the hair a little bit more so we could shape it up properly. Right here, I'm freehanding the hair with my gamma clippers, making sure everything's nice and neat and even. This is gonna help us create our silhouette and blend into the top. Now that we're done creating our silhouette, we can move on to our Goat FX and create our first guideline. You always want to make sure you contour this guideline to the head shape so that the fade could flow better. Make sure not to press too hard when you're setting in your guideline. You don't want to make that line too harsh and it'll be harder to take out. Now that we're done creating our first guideline, we can move on to our 3-guard all the way open and debulk the sides going against the grain. Now that we're done debulking the sides with our 3-guard all the way open, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You always want to make this guideline around inch thick so you can spread the blend. Once you're done setting in that guideline, you're then going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. Don't be afraid to use your opposite hand to stretch the skin to give you more room to blend. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our 1-guard all the way open and create our third guideline. We're also going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a super thanks down below or follow the Instagram. Now that we're done using our 1-guard and softening up the line with the lever, we can move on to our half guard and erase the line completely. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using your half guard, so switching over to your no guard all the way open and using his corners will definitely help. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our 2-guard all the way open and create our 4th guideline. We're then going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for the 1.5 guard. As you guys can see, now that we're done softening up the line with the lever, we can move on to the 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Make sure to use the lever and its corners. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using your 1.5 guard, so switching over to your 1-guard all the way open and using those corners will definitely help erase it. Now we're moving on to our 3 guard all the way open, and we're going right above the 4th guideline we made with our 2 guard all the way open. This is going to help us prepare for our clipper over comb. When using clipper over comb, you want to make sure you grab the hair and cut it at an angle, and when you're using horizontal cuts, it's mainly for debulking, and your vertical cuts mainly for blending. We're going to use a mixture of the 3 guard all the way open, clipper over comb, and a little bit of freehand shaping just to make sure everything's nice and even and blended. Here I'm going back to my 1.5 guard to detail as much as possible. Now that we're done detailing the sides, we can move on to the back and start off with our no guard all the way open, creating our 2nd guideline. Once you're done setting in this guideline, you then want to close the lever midway and all the way closed and attack that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our 1 guard all the way open and create our 3rd guideline. We are right on top of the occipital bone, so you want to make sure you spend more time here and detail as much as possible. Now that we're done softening up the line with the 1 guard and its lever, we can move on to the 1/2 guard and erase the line completely. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our 2 guard all the way open and create our 4th guideline. We're then going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for the 1.5 guard. As you guys can see, now we're using your 1.5 guard to erase the line completely. Make sure to use your corners and its lever. Again, sometimes after using your 1.5 guard, there's still a faint line, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open would definitely help. Now, before we use our clipper over comb method, we're going to debulk a little bit with the 3 guard all the way open. Again, we're going to use our clipper over comb technique at a certain angle and also use our horizontal cuts to debulk and our vertical cuts to blend. Remember, we want to create a certain silhouette and shape for this haircut. Now we're going to use our freehand technique to debulk the top and make sure everything's nice and even and nice and clean. When you're freehanding someone's hair, you want to make sure you take your time and detail as much as possible. This is the last thing you want to rush. here we're going back to our clipper with a comb just to smooth out the fade. Now that we're done detailing the sides, we can move on to the front and begin to debulk his hairline. I'm starting off by combing everything in place and then switching over to my 1.5 guard and going with the grain, debulking as much as possible. Now that everything's nice and cleaned up, we can move on to our Goat FX and start off in the middle, working our way to the sides. When you're lining someone up, you always want to make sure you go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth in the trimmer, because if not, then the hair's going to shift and then you won't line them up properly. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave the super thanks down below or follow the Instagram. When I begin my C-cups, I always start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch using the corners of the blade. Also, when you're using the corners of the blade, you want to make sure you're very light and light-handed just so you don't burn them with the teeth of the trimmer. Now we're going to connect both sides and make sure the corners match and they're as natural as possible without making the vertical bars too pushed back.